For a dedicated group of young musicians, fans, and organizers, Northwest Indiana may not be the biggest punk scene, but it's theirs. We caught up with them at a show at Dave Mueller's Paul Henry's Art Gallery.
They had a gig set up in another venue, and those guys got cold feet and canceled them. And they came to me and said, "Hey, can you see fit to host this event?" I knew nothing about it. I'd heard the bad rumors, and it was great. It was great the first time, and it's been great every single time since. They all have a good time. They're very respectful of the facility, and they always have a remarkable turnout, regardless of the weather or anything else.
He's been super supportive. He makes us coffee. He gives us cookies, and we play punk in his art space. I think it's abided by the DIY ethic because it's always existed kind of as a counterculture to kind of reject the status quo. This is something that we do for fun. No one makes money off of this.
One of the things that I found very appealing about punk in general, and with this scene especially, is, it's true, the fans are the artists, the artists are the fans, So many people that come out to shows are just in bands or doing something creative. And I think that that's very appealing, and the fact that, there aren't really stages and they're just right here, that's amazing. Just adds a whole different kind of energy. It can be annoying getting shoved sometimes when you're performing, but at the same time, it's a great feeling, Somebody cares and somebody's getting into it, and to me, that's one of the best feelings out there.
All my friends are so talented and so beautiful and so amazing, and I just literally am amazed by all the talent that is radiating around me. I can't believe it. I'm so excited to see my friends play.
Whenever bands are playing, it's all of us, That's what makes it so heartwarming sometimes, if that makes any sense. Well, most of the time you're watching all of your very close friends, and that's why it feels really important. Seeing your friends' bands and just going off for them, being really connected with everything, it just brings us all closer,
It's not necessarily the punk movement. It's a movement. It's a true, passionate, heartfelt movement that they want to feel part of and participate in.
It's very warm and friendly. You come out to a show and you just see at least a handful of your friends, and you just get to keep each other company and listen to good music together. It's just a nice evening. All ages, no drinking allowed. This is a drug-free, drink-free space, It's just, you're trying to be accessible for younger people.
I think punk has helped a lot with finding myself and put me on a more positive track, a more positive headspace. Because everybody here is so really supportive. It's kind of therapeutic, and it's good to be able to share these certain feelings and stuff with other people instead of just keeping it to yourself. I think it's important to put yourself out there, let people know how you're feeling, because people might not know exactly what you're going through. For some situations, it might be important to shed some light on that, because other people might be going through that too, It kind of spoke to me in a certain way because I don't feel comfortable around in normal situations. I don't feel like a normal person.
Don't be afraid to do what you want to do. Don't listen to others when it comes to telling you not to do things that are creative, as long as you're not hurting anybody or doing any hateful stuff, then go out there and be yourself. You have it in you. You can go out there and do something and change somebody's life, so do it. The first time that I came out to a show with this scene, I was 18 or 19. People seemed to care about, more than themselves or just partying. People were actually doing things, and trying to grow in some way or another. People like were running record labels and printing their own shirts and just like, hey, you know, let's start a band. And, you know, like 2 months later, you know, they're playing shows. I thought that was awesome.
There's like a lot of spaces that for me, like a developing little baby of a 14-year-old is like playing bass in a band, that I can have like accessible, consistent shows to the point where like I'm in a lot of bands now. I've been in a lot of bands. I have all this experience because I got to have that experience. Like, we're just the kids that were way too weird for everybody else, and nobody understood us, and we were frustrated and confused. Nobody wanted to be around us, and then we found each other, and that's why we're here, and we care so much, and we put so much care into what we do. It's because that we know that we were in that point of our lives. We grew up that way, that we didn't fit in. We didn't feel comfortable with the people around us and the norm. And it's really nice to have that bond where a lot of people don't have. And so when you're so young and vulnerable and to that point where you feel there's nobody there for you or anything, it's like, it's really important to have younger people get into the scene and know that they can have a really healthy relationship, you know, like, we don't have bad influences, you know what I mean? Like, this is all positive. And so, like I said, I was 13 when I first started going into shows, and I think that like changed me for the better. Like, I don't think I'm an awful person. I think that I've learned a lot of really good lessons from just being into the punk community and to learning this way and growing up this way.